Okay, we're back to part 2.
On the banks of the Mississippi River at Gateway International Raceway, Bob Barsha, Ted Jones, and Brett Kettner with you for the Asti Spumani Gateway Nitrous Nationals. We'll pick up the action of the first round in Pro Modified. And our first
Look
pair,
at that
Bill
chop top.
200
Good
Coolin
lord.
against Tommy Hunt, part of the only father-son team in professional Pro Modified track racing. Well, for Bill Koolman, this is his home track. He wants to shine in front of the hometown fans. He's from Wentzville, Missouri, right up the road, Bob. Koolman, the second man to stage. Lights up, they are away. Hunt with a great start, but gets a little sideways down the strip. Watch as Bill Koolman comes on strong and drives around. Oh, Koolman barely squeaks it out with a 710, 198 mile per hour. Good racing. Then it was Blake Wiggins up against Robbie Vandergriff, one of the real coming stars in this class. Wiggins nailed him to the tree and then simply drove away. Look at Blake, a car length open on him, a 711, 188 miles per hour in that new Pontiac. Then we got a close look at the man who won the very first Pro Modified race ever, Ed Hoover out of Columbia, South Carolina, racing this man, Manny DeJesus. They love the witch doctor because he's driving a 1967 Chevy Nova, or Deuce as they're sometimes called, very popular with the fans. The reaction times in this run, unbelievable. Hoover and DeJesus nailed the tree. DeJesus got a little out of shape and off the center line. Hoover wins. 704, 199 miles per hour.
I wonder where that car ended up.
Now as the day progressed. Both men under 1/10 of a second of reaction time. Then it was Chris Hunt, the other half of the father-son Hunt team, against Killer Brooks, and watch the top-end charge in the right lane. Look at Killer Brooks. He's on a roll.
It was the left lane.
727, 198 miles per hour.
Right as you're
and then we
looking
got to
at
look
the
at Wally
screen.
Stroop in the fastest car in the class. His opponent, Brian Gom. Well, Stroop qualified number 1, so he should have this one walking away, and he pulls it out barely with a 710, 198 miles per hour. And our final matchup, hitting the quickest car in the class, Scotty Cannon out of Lyman, South Carolina, up against Chuck Van Vallis in his first appearance here in Pro Modified round of 16. Van Vallis very popular because of the old Dodge, but look at Scotty Cannon and the OnSat 40 Chevrolet.
Where did that car end up at?
Great action in the first round of Pro Modified. And our other two pairings, Tim McCamus, the hometown favorite, and Randy Moore in that wild Lamborghini, both red-lighted, advancing Ken Carson and Donnie Little into the next round. We'll be back to pick up the action in the quarterfinals of Pro Stock when we return to Gateway International Raceway in Illinois.
A lot of men want to know more about Rogaine with minoxidil. If you're one of them, I have good news for you. Now there's a brochure.
All the commercials of the 90s.
Answers to their questions
Lord,
about
Lord,
Rogaine.
Lord.
Simply call 1-800-333-9416.
I'm on minoxidil now, but it's not for my hair. It's for my heart.
Once you've looked at it, you'll probably want to schedule an appointment with a doctor. After all, only your doctor can prescribe Rogaine. And if you call right now, Upjohn will also send you the names of doctors in your area who can help you decide.
Let's
if Rogaine
fast
is
forward
right
through this nonsense.
We're ready now for quarterfinal action in Pro Stock. And our first matchup will pit the top qualifier, Floyd Cheek out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, against number 8, Ed Dixon from Maryland Heights, Missouri, another local favorite. Well, this is the premier year for Floyd Cheek running in Pro Stock, that is. And
Ted Jones,
everybody
Missouri, really?
He's running a 715 cubic inch Ford
It's
engine,
Missouri,
which is really
Missouri.
small by today's Mount Motor standards. Ed Dixon, on the other hand, running 743 cubic inches of Ford power in his
baby motor.
A little unusual. We don't often see a pair
This
of
is an
Ford
old
power
type.
plants against one another in Pro Stock. We see a lot of Chevrolet,
30 years old.
GM material.
Red light. Right hand lane, left hand lane as you're looking at the screen.
Ed Dixon red lighted in front of his home crowd.
But
Floyd Cheek will
the other guy got him
Floyd Cheek
anyway.
with a 718, 193 miles per hour. The hits just keep on coming. He is hot, Bob. Here's another look. In the near lane, Ed Dixon just had it a little bit wrong. You'll see the front wheels turn and the bodywork raise up. He fouls out. Let's meet our winner.
Actually, the
I'll
back
tell you
end
what,
was
this
down.
event has gone your way, but I don't even think you're ready for this. This weather change made a lot of difference the way you set the car up. 718, 193.
Right, that's great.
That's the quickest the car's ever gone.
Yeah, we thought it'd run better this run, but we wasn't for sure, you know.
Now this was 30 years ago.
Yeah, I saw that.
And you got a car called the Beast, a '69 Camaro, I believe, that runs 590s in a quarter now.
718 would have been very close to the old ET record in pro stock, but not today. Here comes Billy Ewing, an engine builder out of
Something that makes
Snellville,
you go,
Georgia, the number 5 qualifier and number 5 in pro stock points in 1990. He'll be running against Doug Kirk, who finished number 2 in the points last year from Lenore, West Virginia, and has one of the smallest engines in pro stock here today, 689 cubic inches against Ewing's 700 cubic inch Oldsmobile.
No glove.
You can see Billy is eschewing gloves on this occasion. Doug Kirk gets a little bit sideways. You can't give up that kind of advantage to Billy Ewing. Kirk shuts it down. Ewing with an easy win at 733, 189
Oh, she's
miles
bouncing.
per hour. Now, as we look at them coming off that pad, you'll see they both get a little
Loose.
crooked. First Kirk, then Ewing. Ewing survives better. Now we will see Tim Neighbors out of Lawrenceville, Georgia, up against the fastest car in the class, Harold Denton from Middlesex, North Carolina, with the world record,
Lord, I haven't thought about that guy in a
198.3
while.
miles per hour. Well, Denton driving that party time car formerly owned by the late
Look
Jim
at that, another bare hand, no glove.
Everybody down in Bristol, Tennessee a couple weeks ago, Bob, when he won the first ever event for that car. 2 more steady campaigners.
Right-hand lane got the 3. Left-hand lane as you're looking at the screen.
Looks like Denton with the advantage,
Nope.
and he wins.
Denton wins.
Again, a 727, 181 miles per hour for the big 747 cubic inch Pontiac. Watch them one more time. Neighbors actually leads first. Wow, what a hole shot on Harold. It took horsepower on the part of Harold to nip him out down at the top end by
Almost a car.
I'll tell you, he just took out one of the toughest guys out there, and you know that. 727, which might be so-so, but the speed, 181 miles an hour, you're not showing a full hand.
Well, who knows? Let's keep them guessing. Maybe I am too. Truthfully, the car is running extremely good, and when I put it in second gear, Tim was out on me a little bit. I could tell. I saw the front end of his car. I said, I believe he might have moved on me a little, but the car was pulling so hard, it was began to show then that I was going to go by.
Now, Billy Ewing just said a minute ago that he doesn't think anybody can run with that Ford.
I really feel the same way. I'm amazed at how good he's running, and I'm thankful for him, for they've struggled like some of the rest of us, and it's good to see somebody else come in and do good. But naturally, we're going to try to put a stop to it, you know.
Nice piece of sportsmanship there from Harold Denton, pulling for Floyd Chief, but we have the business of Ricky Smith against Terry Adams now. Number 3 is Ricky Smith. Number 1, Terry Adams in points thus far this year. So this is a matchup with potentially a big impact on the points. Well, you can bet Ricky would like to upset it and be king of the Pontiacs here. They both have 732 cubic inch.
This is definitely the old gateway.
You never know about Ricky. He's got a lot of gray hair, Bob. They are
North to
both
south.
Star Heels from North Carolina. Ricky Smith from King, North Carolina. That man right there, Terry Adams from Millers Creek. The Dixie Nitrous Nationals winner is Adams. Ricky Smith, the 5-time world champion, looks like he got a great start. Oh, and Adams gets
Loose.
sideways. Ricky Smith will have a walkover. Well, Adams had to shut it down. Smith an easy win, 723, 183 miles per hour. Look at that reaction time was a 0.3. Ricky Smith, Tricky Ricky they call it, back on top in the right lane. Terry Adams with all kinds of problems.
Well, you and your racing radio, I don't need to tell you where you went, but you got to be pretty happy with it.
Yeah, we made a little change this morning, and it run pretty good. So right now, it looks like it's forward running pretty good, don't it?
That's what everybody said when they got out. They see Floyd Cheek at 718. Now, you came within 500s of that, but that had to even surprise you.
Oh, yeah, that's 718. And, you know, that's pretty impressive on this track right here today, especially after all the rain. Track people done a good job. I was surprised when I pulled this thing in third gear. It made a good run, so the track's in good shape right now.
That's good to know. The question is, do you think Floyd or you can go that much quicker?
I don't think I can make a much better run. I just hope I can get by and get in the finals. You know, we got one more round before I run him, so we'll just see what happens.
Should we say anything about the fact that you're running a rather unusual clutch in this car today?
Well, we changed up here a little bit. We may tell you something after a while.
Okay, I won't press it yet.
All right, thanks.
Well, Tricky Ricky still has a trick or two up his sleeve. By virtue of a quicker lapse time, Floyd Cheek will have lane choice over Billy Ewing in the semifinals. Ricky Smith with lane choice against Harold Denton in a rematch of the semifinals at the Spring Nationals at the beginning of June. We'll be back and change from door slammers to floppers. The alcohol funny car quarterfinals coming up next from Illinois.
The Gateway Nitrous Nationals. Hello, love.
No spill. No mess. The Spill Saver.
Oh, the commercials from the early 90s, late 80s.
Eliminate mess and waste with the entire family of Spill Saver on-off spouts. Spill Saver has the perfect spout for all your automotive pouring
Are
needs.
they still in business?
Hey, thanks, man. Stay cool.
7-Up, the cool spot.
They didn't have a lot of commercials for this show. Things that make you go, huh?
The rain is holding off at Gateway International Raceway as we get set for quarterfinal action in alcohol funny cars. One-piece fiberglass bodies over some of the most amazing and powerful alcohol-burning engines you can imagine. Our first matchup from Glendale Heights, Illinois, this man, Mark White, up against, from Sykesville, Missouri, a member of my all-name team, Carney Breifogel. Don't be deceived by that quirky piece on the windows. It's all Carney in the driver's seat. Well, remember, IHRA rules allow any size engine in these cars, and they go
He didn't say size, did he?
40 cubic inches of heat pipe power. A great start in the left lane there for Mark White. Problem for Breifogel in the background, and Mark has an easy run. Look at the ET on that, a 618 227. The car front wheels are actually off the ground at the
I think what I said a while ago about the Beast, he runs 590s.
How about a 618 at 227, both ends of the track record?
Outstanding. It's never run anywhere near that good, and you know it. You weren't the only one
That's
that
the
got
thing
that.
about racing.
That was all-
Going faster every
Shook
day
pretty
on
hard,
Sonny and
it took
Cher's
your
head.
team, so go back, get in the bell housing, see if you can come back and do it again.
You smoked the tires when it went into 620s in qualifying. How much more does this thing have?
Cars get
I think we
faster.
run 610 if we get everything going right.
You're quicker than anybody's ever gone here before, buddy.
I'd like to do it.
See you there.
Thank you.
And what better inspiration could he have than that t-shirt? Bob Newberry, the all-time ET and top speed record holder in alcohol funny cars. There's Al DePazzo from Northbrook, Illinois. Number 2 qualifier. His opponent right there, Joe Camella from Parma, Ohio, the number 7 qualifier. Well, Camella running one of those bigger motors too, 540 cubic inches. DePazzo, though, sticking with the traditional 526 cubic inch displacement setup. An immaculately turned out DePazzo car in its first 1991 national event. Look at the paint job on that. Gorgeous car. It's a 1991 Oldsmobile. Camella running a 1991 Ford Probe body. Now, the alcohol cars take a long time to stage. The engines run very cool. They can do that. The nitrous-fired machines would be right to the line and away because they heat up so quickly. Look inside at Joe Camella, about to go to work.
Look through the fire hole.
Think about that 618 that Mark White just laid down. Believe me, any one of them would love to turn that kind of an ET right now on this track. How big red light there.
Was that a red light or what?
He ran away from the light by a huge number. DePazzo will advance. DePazzo with a 623, but that's not the news. Camella wasted a 616. He went quicker and he wasted it with a red light. We'll look one more time. Watching
Just
him
rolled
way
through.
early. He was
Brake
actually
didn't
guessing
hold.
the tree had missed, Bob. Missed a bunch, I would say, by about a half second or so. Easy run for DePazzo.
God.
Now, here comes Larry Dobbs from Welland, Ontario, Canada. Winner of the first event of the year in Darlington, South Carolina, the Winter Nationals. His opponent will be the reigning world champion there in the foreground with a
Oh, yeah, he's from Arkansas, isn't he?
Mark Thomas from Louisville, Ohio.
No, he's
Dobbs is
Ohio.
really trying to get in on the mountain motor rules permitted in this class. He's running
I don't know why I thought he was from
603
Arkansas.
cubic inches. They're starting to get big. By far the biggest engine in the class right now, but I think you're right, Ted. Not the biggest we'll see. Great start for both cars. But look at the traction that Mark Thomas is getting in the near lane, and he's an easy winner. winner. Thomas had him wire to wire. A 622, 224 miles per hour. The ethanol crew is
Chase it down, buddy. Chase it down.
As well they should be. There you see the numbers. In our final matchup, as we take one more look at Mark Thomas at his best, Tony Bogolo at a red light against Tim Wilkerson. It'll be Mark White against Mark Thomas. White with lane choice. Al DePazzo against Tim Wilkerson. DePazzo with lane choice. Now here's Brett.
Already in the 1991 season, Randy Moore and the Asti Spumani Lamborghini have gained notoriety as having a combination unlike any other in IHRA drag racing. But this car has become a member of one brand new group throughout the IHRA structure. It's one of the newest cars relying on crew-to-driver radio communications in drag racing. Now, radio communications are nothing new in motorsports. It seems like every crew has some kind of contact electronically with their driver out on the track. But the big problem in the past with drag racing machines has been the magnetos that fire these incredible V8s.
That screws up video, too.
In some cases, and that awesome voltage has created interference problems
Analog
that up to this
video.
point were impossible to overcome. But right now,
Even
Randy
digital
and
video
Blaine
in this
Kilby
day and age
seem to
are
be
close
happy with
enough.
the new radio setup. It's something they've never enjoyed before.
I tell you, these racing radios that we use have helped us tremendously. Being new in the sport, we've kind of needed all the help we can get to learn the starting line and some other things that, you know, we'll go through the lights. I can know my ET immediately. We can tell our temperatures on the motor back to our crew chief, and we can know exactly, monitor everything through the whole pass.
In this particular car, the way your fuel system is set up, is there anything that you could possibly change before you stage that perhaps Blaine Kilby, the crew chief, could tell you?
Sure, if the burnouts aren't successful and don't go as we want them to, we can decide then if we want to leave at a lower RPM or at a higher RPM if we have a good burnout. We can talk about it.
And before, pretty much everything relied on hand signals, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Hand signals just, I don't feel in this day and age you're getting it.
Blaine, as the guy on the other end of the radio, what do you look for to tell Randy while he's out there?
Well, mainly to make sure the car is backed up and the rubber is laid down. See how much the car spun on the first dry hot and things like that, so we come back and make clutch adjustments if necessary.
Is there any really communication going on from the time the tree goes green to the time he crosses the finish line?
Absolutely not.
And I'll just leave it up to him to concentrate.
Exactly.
It seems like there might be a use here in just informing Randy of something that might be going on with his competitor in the other lane, too.
Oh, yeah. Sure enough about that. Well, got to keep an eye on the guy in the other lane all the time.
It may not look like much, but this little antenna is obviously changing a lot in drag racing. While the driver communication with his crew has long been needed, this may end up being a situation where the officials get involved on a common frequency. And no matter how you look at it, a lot more people know a lot more about the sport, courtesy of the Racing Radio's communication system.
All right, thank you, Brett. All the technology in the world, unfortunately, couldn't help Randy Moore. He victimized himself with a red light. We'll be back with quarterfinals of Pro Mod.
Old Spice blows. Come on now. Is this an Old Spice commercial? Give me a break.
Some men would rather live their lives sheltered in the harbor, and some would rather sail into life with the unmistakable scent of Old Spice. Clean, true.
Okay, that's it for this one.